Good evening, Free Enterprise fans. Welcome back to another one of our Highway to the Threemus Zone matches. This is the Bahamut group. This is ZoeVermilion and IndoorWah. They're facing off. This is both of their first matches. We have Alicel handling the buttons tonight. Invenerable is on the restream, and I am here with Dijon Ketchup in the booth, not the book. Excuse me. How are you doing tonight?
I am doing better now that I'm not in a book.
Well, we have quite the story here. These are some interesting and some fun objectives that our runners are going to have to complete here. Is there any one that you see that you have that's your favorite here?
Ooh, these are indeed flags. These are objectives.
I don't think I could have handpicked this any better. We've got 3 or 4 of it need to be done. The hook route, the giant, and music. So maybe they're hoping to forge because none of these are very quick. None of these are some of the slowest.
They don't really intersect much either.
No, and this is one of those few situations where you're maybe just hoping that hook is your path underground, just so you don't have to, find a hook and do it later. Yeah. And GG's, I won't spoil what went on in case anyone wants to watch it, but there was just a great match between Penguinator and Baka Shinobi that wrapped up. Thank you, Neon Gray, for the gift subs. Jenica Strife for the raid, and I believe we should be kicking off here shortly. Again, this is the Bahamut group. These 2 runners are joined by 2 other people that Inven just told me, and I've forgotten, and I thought I had it pulled up on my other screen. Zilch and Aegis are the other 2 runners in this group. This is actually the first match in the for this entire group.
Yeah, so getting in on the ground floor, as they say. I don't think they say that.
I'm not sure if I've heard that, but we can start saying it if you'd like.
Speaking of starting.
They're off. And Sid, not a terrible start. That's a fun pairing right there.
Oh, there's a sparkle.
So you got a Baron Key, you have a Lunar Sparkle.
You can immediately come back to that.
Yeah, we could find out pretty quickly. I would imagine they're going to look for some characters and do a little bit of looting and shopping, but I'm a big fan of doing that Baron check early. There's some good treasure in there as well.
And, there could be a harp, there could be either a piece of the sword or adamant. Could be a darkness crystal.
There could be all sorts of things, and yeah, so with that required hook route, I'm intrigued to see what their underground access is going to be, because this is one of those. I mean, that's one of maybe my least favorite objective of all of the objectives in these flags, because there's no worse feeling than having gotten underground and then you're just trying to find the hook. If you can't find the hook, there's always the potential in every seed that I race where I have to find a hook. The rat tail always is holding some other required key item. So they could have to go all the way through the moon to find it, or maybe they'll get lucky and actually get to do the hook route at the go.
Yeah. Well, now we're seeing some characters. We could see on Zoe's side, she saw the Rydia in the Baron Inn. Fading that for right now. And over on IndoorWah's side, they went and got the 2 free characters from Mysidia, because we have free characters here. And one of them was one of the twins, so it was half vanilla. And it looks like Zoe's gonna get those as well.
Oh, and there's one Cecil Now we can be on the lookout for the second Cecil. And it looked like, was that a twin that
Yeah,
IndoorWah set out
it was
of?
one of the twins, but I can never tell which one's which by the map sprite, and of course the names are not the default, so Ali's saying it's Palom.
Okay. It's always a nice character to leave, just in case you want something later on. Palom is good, but in these flags with the warp glitch, we're seeing a lot more use out of Rydia because of how quickly she learns that spell.
Yeah.
And
It
chat is
looks like-
saying we found
Nope.
Threemus.
I got
Sorry. Threemus was in the waterfall?
And we've got IndoorWah going to get their hovercraft, and looks like there was a Porum there as well. So we
A
got
lot of twins. We got twins for days. We got quadruplets here.
Double your pleasure, double your fun. That's the statement of the Great Bit.
So I saw, I think, a poison axe that Zoe had picked up. I would also be waiting to do that demist fight until I can put out some more damage. It's an annoying spot, particularly when you only have a bunch of little kids on your team, because the magic defense there is actually quite high.
Yeah. It's like right now it looks like we've got a Sid, both twins, and a GKC.
Yep, but both have made the check now, which, from a commentator's perspective, you do like to see that they both now know that there's demist there, so they don't do what I eventually do, which is complete the entire game before checking these two early spots for demist. Is ready to take this fight. Let's see what kind of damage we're getting, because that's really going to determine... Oh, that's not too bad.
Zoe probably hoping to take this out real quick and get some levels and the easy early check. Not so much here, but the check over with Rydia's mom.
Yes, strange women laying next to ponds have been known to distribute some very valuable pieces of either gear or key items.
Could be a sword.
And with that Cecil, yeah. With that Cecil, I am either hoping to see a crystal sword early, or once I get rid of that Cecil, hoping to not see anything of any use in case my opponent kept the Cecil.
There's a free fight over at Antlion's spot, which not necessarily where you want to see that one, because you probably want it later on in one of the harder boss slots.
Yeah, with an objective along the lines of the clear the Falcon, or I'm sorry, clear the Giant. It seems like you might be keeping a closer eye on what bosses you've come across, because those can be some rude and slow boss fights up at the CPU and the vanilla elements.
Zoe going to take the Waterfall Cave character and get rid of Eddie, so no Eddie strats coming from Zoe.
No, with these objectives, I'm thinking you're probably going for real power over hoping that you can get through very quickly, because these are not the jet seed type objectives that are going to let you have an early Zeromus fight, in my estimation at least.
Looks like IndoorWah fading the mountain that I can't remember the name of right now. Not Ordeals, the other one.
On Mount Hobbs.
That would be the one. Locations are hard.
This is some great gear in Wah's inventory, just unfortunately not for anyone we've seen so far. That if you find an edge, you got a ninja sword and it looks like a Murasame, you've got a Gungnir spear for a cane, and absolutely nothing to write home about for your actual group of 5. And Zoe picked up a power shirt as well from these high tier chest draws in the waterway. So somebody's gonna be hitting hard. Unfortunately, right now it's just gonna be Sid. And there it is. There's the package check. And I think IndoorWah might be taking this character.
Yeah, that is an edge right there. Considering the parties we've been looking at so far, it's probably worth the short detour to finish the little quest.
Yeah, we've seen all of the free characters excluding the Mount Ordeals check. So I would be willing to sit through this cutscene if that meant I got a ninja with all that gear that's sitting in my inventory right now. Did we see Zoe check on that the Threemus reward item?
I don't think she has, or if she did, I missed it.
Okay, I'm thinking maybe she just wants to clear this stuff out while over here. And as we know, this is not going to pose too much of a threat. And we will at least get one more boss check. If you got to choose, who would you be hoping that we run into up there? Giant of Babel.
Well, I would say one of the optimal ones would be these guards that we're seeing on Zoe's side. So obviously, that would be real good. The other guards fight would be probably decent to find up there.
Well, I'm going in the other direction with it. Oh, hopefully we'll get a quick glimpse of this leg. Maybe IndoorWah waiting just so we get a chance. Much appreciated. I was hoping Demisted Elements is actually what I find to be a very entertaining fight because of how long it can potentially go, but that's out of the books.
I misunderstood what you were asking then.
I just assumed you were being polite.
Oh. I mean, if you're the one playing, you want to see the more freebie bosses in those spots. But if you want to be mean,
I mean, from the commentator's booth, I hope for as much Schadenfreude as possible, but that's just me.
There's always Kenatsu up there. You get a Golbez up there.
Ooh, Kenatsu's fun. Golbez is frustrating, and
that Threemus is required. Well, required for music anyway.
I would certainly be willing to take that up, and it looks like Oh, Zoe is making the package check. So it looks like they're routing pretty similarly thus far, and I would not be surprised to see those tunes coming our way relatively quickly.
Yeah, and IndoorWah taking out the D-Mist, so probably gonna find that music as well.
Yup, you just have to remember to actually make the check, which is, I had my first race yesterday, and that was one of the things I was telling to myself every single time is you first have to do the Demas fight, then you have to remember that this lady is lying on the ground waiting to hand you a key item.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, IndoorWah getting that twin harp immediately.
Yes, well done. I would be interested. I'm not sure how I would route this now. That edge makes Twin Harp fairly doable, if not ideal. You might still want to have exit because yesterday in my race I got rid of my Tella just before I did music, and ended up having to do the walk of shame out of Cave Agnes. You're looking for exits. You can usually get enough XP on the forum before you go in there to have exit on her. But doing shopping, which is surprising considering that IndoorWah already has a Thunderclaw, so there's nothing else that you're looking for the rest of the seed.
And Zoe taking that Rubicant out real quick.
Yeah, the Hokey Pokey only lasted for about one move there. This is the curious. If you find somebody you're interested in taking right here, mount or deals, do you get rid of the Cecil in this situation? I am strongly considering replacing that Cecil with just about anybody if I can't find a second one.
Well, it looks like Zoe replaced her extra twin, so
Still enough to cast the twin spell. The old lady blocking the way, but she is being more generous than usual this time. Yeah. Only chat for a hot minute there.
it's fine. We've got a Dr. Luge fight over on IndoorWah's side.
Yes, the evil doctor has made an appearance at the top of the mountain. This is a key moment for potential Thunderclaw usage, as you do bonus damage to all of the forms except for the doctor in the back there. Little swag with that little Chocobo Island check.
So, yeah, fun fact, there's a Chocobo forest down there.
Yeah, that is something I did not know. I guess there are still things about this game that I have to learn.
Yeah, there's all these little pockets you just never think of because they're not generally useful in the randomizer. The back attack on the bridge is the Calbrenna.
Yeah, this fight has been showing up in some frustrating places in a lot of the matches I've been commentating. You hope that the flame kills all of them because you really don't want to deal with the big doll here, and it does, and you don't even have the crumble animation, which is nice.
Yeah. Yeah, you always you want to try to get those AoE attacks off to get rid of them all at once. And ooh, we got a CPU over at the Fabul spot.
Yep, we got some orbs. Although I don't think Edge is gonna take too long to get these things taken care of. That Edge is, yeah, really gonna trivialize everything up to maybe when we see that music check.
And looks like there was a Luca key at the in the last spot at Mount
Up on
Ordeal.
Ordeals. Yeah, it is a key item, although its value is just about that, counting as one key item in these flags.
Hey, what does a pirate say when he realizes that all his coins have fallen out of his pocket?
I don't know. What does the pirate say?
Me change!
Oh,
Yeah.
you got me there.
Nope. Zoe's got a hook.
That is a hook. So we have two of potentially 4 or 5 key items that are required to get this done. I've never said I would let out a sigh of relief at seeing the hook, but in this situation, I certainly might.
Yeah.
So that is going to be the progression underground, and it looks like Zoe is headed on over to at least shop and maybe hopefully give us some music here as well. Looks like we might be getting double music.
Right now, it looks like Zoe's just checking her shops.
Okay, here we go. You can't tease me like that.
Alright, now she's clearly going for Cave Magnus.
I do like these Chocobo treasure chest checks. They do have the potential for high tier loot, and those are the types of checks where, I mean, I know I wouldn't make them. So if Zoe were to have found something there, she would have gained some good item there would give you a heck of an advantage, particularly, against someone like me.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely not a chest I knew about. So, I learned something today.
Oh yeah, and yep, get your harps out because Spoony B has got to be stretching out the fingers.
If only we hadn't left him behind.
Well, he's the entertainer.
Yeah,
And,
it's fine.
and I always love his little soft child run fall at the beginning of the cutscene, but here we go, I'll be quiet so we can get some tunes. Oof, and that is a Golbez. That is not who you want to see. Mom bomb over on IndoorWah's side as well. Which boss I'd prefer less in this situation.
Yeah, this is
Like Zoe must have had I thought I had seen her with a ribbon. Maybe that was also like a crystal ring.
yeah, she definitely found a ribbon earlier.
So that makes this a little safer. But this is one of those hilarious spots where the magic defense means that Golbez is not going to do nearly as much work against himself as he typically does. This time, maybe when he asks why, it might be slightly more justifiable than when he takes away all of his own HP and then gets confused as to how he lost the fight.
Yeah, some of those reflected spells doing a whopping 1 damage.
And the amount of damage they would do to your team in this spot is not what I have to deal with. So got very fortunate to have kept the characters up, did well to get the star avails up, so this is just gonna take... Just gonna have to hold A for a little while and you'll be good.
Well, and over on IndoorWah's side, they managed to take out the Mom Bomb with little trouble. They got a Crystal Armor and a Rydia. Of course, Rydia's not going to be coming along. Oh, that's a key item.
So now music is 100% required. I don't know why anyone would have chosen to fade it in either direction, but now with the piece of the sword there as well, there's no finishing this seed without music. So well done, Invenerable, our restreamer on this flag on this seed roll.
Yeah.
And Giant of Babel, definitely Nits guy in chat saying, I mean, it is possible now, depending on what you can find from these underground checks, that you don't have to go through with that.
All right, but hear me out.
I'm listening.
You have to. What if you have to complete the Giant of Babel to get the adamant?
Is there a theoretical way that could happen? I mean, I personally don't mind. The elements fight can be slow, but if I find a decent sword for that Cecil, I might do it over any other checks for just the XP. But we do have the hook already, so we'll have break the Twin Harp spell. Number 4 will be taken care of. Number 3 will be taken care of. So this is another one of those situations where one of 2 key items is going to be your ticket to that crystal.
Also, I'm realizing I'm mixing up, and you get a character for completing Giant, not a key item. That is my bad right there.
It could have theoretically been there if we hadn't seen D missed.
This is a truth fact.
But Derek Mist did a very, very poor job of hiding this seed. And we are getting the Baron check. I do like this. This is another chance for second Cecil. This is another chance Well, I mean, you're gonna do the hook route whether you want to or not, but you might be able to get some sirens and something else done, and we'll get to figure out what our lunar sparkle is.
Yeah, that would... Adamant could be here.
And just Plague.
I mean, there's no, like, just Plague. This thing can be a pain.
Oh, totally fair. I was hoping just, I mean, this is one of those spots where the time it takes to walk all the way back is at least irritating. So taking a Mega Nuke right here would be at least more entertaining, again, from the booth, not for any of the runners. And we are having some conversation about potential routing choices here. I do have to agree that I think we're probably going to see the Giant, but it is really dependent on where that Darkness Crystal is going to be hidden.
Well, it looks like the ninja sacrificed himself to save everybody else from Plague.
It was very noble of Edge.
It looks like Zoe's gonna go ahead and scale Mount Ordeals now.
Yeah, that's a big climb, but with these levels and with that gear on that Edge, it's just gonna be Mount Hold A. And up, the rulers of Baron turned out to be Mylon and 4 zombies doing the Thriller dance.
Yep. But with no bridge to fall off, we won't be seeing Mylon Z right after.
This is one where you might want to be careful taking those swings directly at Mylon, because if you kill Mylon off first,
Yeah.
those cats don't like it when their friend goes away. They get very punchy.
Yeah, if you ever seen someone accidentally kill Mylon off before the casts, it doesn't end well.
Oh, they're taking some swings at it. We'll see. I can see wanting to at least get Mylon's damage down, because Mylon also gets punchy, but there's only one Mylon, fortunately.
There could be only one.
These little ones are actually doing far less negligible damage than you typically see out of them.
That second phase of Dr. Lugay just went down with nothing.
Yeah, having Edge at the center, that Cecil is technically anchoring, but has pretty good agility as well. But that Edge will do quick work.
And it looks like Mylon went down first, but thankfully there's only one Ghast left. And got rid of him before it became a problem.
Yep, there was a group fire too that had taken one of them down. Even if they got too punchy, I think he would still be able to get through that.
Zoe dealing with the big baby over here. Doesn't put up much of a fight, though.
Yeah, chat pointing out IndoorWah's flame took out all 6 of the dolls, and unfortunately, it looks like Zoe's wasn't quite as successful with the roll.
But luckily, it wasn't a setback for her.
And chat pointing out, I didn't see who the character was, but it looks like Cecil is officially Sir no longer appearing in this seed, which means that this will be guaranteed to be a crystal sword.
Yeah, so it was one of the twins. I just didn't catch which. There's an earth crystal in that pot.
Eventual crystal sword is what I meant. Earth crystal and a crystal sword. And that's a lot of twins. The last Inven seed I called had 5 eddies in it. I don't know how we count twins mathematically, but we're reaching very close to that number.
There's 3 of them, so that's triplets right there. And there was another one, so quadruplets? I'm pretty sure that's how math works.
This is the other great point in a seed, where once you do have the earth crystal, we get to guess how much treasure there is. Indoor, now you're going to music right when I'm in the middle of my earth crystal rant? Okay. It's not terrible routing, and honestly, there's not much more you could find for your edge, so I don't disagree with this choice, but I want to see the treasury.
While I was having some trouble with the true final boss, trying to track down the black chocobo.
That is my nightmare when I'm being restreamed, is that I have to spend like greater than 6 seconds trying to get the black chocobo. Zoe now with the Luca key, with the hook, has done music. We're getting to the question of is she going to do Baron, or who is going to be the first to complete this objective number 3?
You know, I wonder if both of them are just desperately trying to avoid going the hook route to get underground. Because of course, if they do come back to do the Falcon, you know, the later in the game, the more levels they'll have.
Oh yeah, I mean the hook route is definitely something that can slow anybody down, and you would definitely prefer to have cracked a couple of eggs before you actually do it if you can avoid going in there with only the XP you're getting from all of these fights overworld. There was some speculation on what would be the bosses, and it's no fun if your party's at 2,000 hit points when you actually find out who they are, because it's just a blow by at that point.
Well, should we shut our faces for another moment to get an encore from DJ Eddie?
I think that could be taken care of. Yeah, pop the harps out one more time. This plague is giving Zoe a little bit of difficulty. So, to your point, Dijon, not always a free fight.
Indeed. But she's got some revive strats going on, so...
Yeah, should be able to get through the rest of this. Now, this is the other potential opportunity for some divergence as far as who's in your party. Because this will give Zoe the chance to pick up that... Saying third twin is confusing, but I guess that's what it is. And or we will probably see Earth Crystal as well. So there's still some chances for some more Cecils. But you do have to wonder how long you keep it, or if they both ditch the Cecil now, then Earth Crystal Treasury is guaranteed to have at least 3 Crystal Swords, calling it.
Oops, all twins.
And the Grimoire coming in huge with that Chocobo cast.
Yeah.
It's just incredible value in those Grimoires.
These things are good.
I always just consider them a little pocket Odin that I carry around.
Zoe having considerably less difficulty with the Mylon fight.
Yeah, and this is the issue with this Golbez, is if the wrong people on your team get knocked down early, he is just gonna sit there and do absolutely nothing damage-wise to himself. And this is one of those few Golbez situations where you have to start to be concerned about your Star Veils running out.
Yeah. And it looks like Wah tried to refresh a Star Veil on one of their party members and still had the Star Veil going, and so reflected a Star Veil onto Golbez.
Oof, and they might be out of... Oh no. The twin cast comes back.
Oof, and
this is when that board AI knows that you want that edge alive. And they may be out of Star Veils as well. This could get a little hairy. Here we go, rate the treasury. Here it comes. Zoe being the champion here.
Yep. See what she finds.
Ooh.
Crystal ring.
The crystal ring and a Zeus gauntlet. For all of real value. That is a 4 out of 10. That is a generous 4 out of 10 in my book. Considering you're rolling around with these that was no gear for any specific character either.
Yeah.
It looks like Zoe's saying no to going up the Tower of Zot. That hovercraft, and we might get a check of the hook route here.
Yep. She might be maybe got tired of trying to find magma key access underground and going ahead to get underground with the hook and launch the Falcon. the same time.
And yeah, I'm feeling probably kind of anxious to get some levels on these characters. Even, I mean, before doing something like Earth, might as well, if you feel like you can get through this, might as well just take this dive at some point. It is, mostly required at this point anyway.
IndoorWah taking another stab at the Z3R seed.
The only advantage of having to reset and redo this Twin Harp fight isn't that you get more music, it's that you get to watch Eddie fall on the ground multiple times.
Hey, Zoe found sirens in the underground shop on the hook route.
That is a nice thing to have. So sirens confirmed in the seed, and there are coffins. This is a nice little. This is a nice little shop.
Tents, if you need some of those. So yeah, that's a good shop to keep in mind, and depending on how things go, maybe come back later and get more sirens when she can afford some more.
Yeah, sirens and coffins are the egg cracking starter kit for sure.
I thought the egg cracking starter kit was a pair of leggings.
Oh, maybe we're operating with different manuals.
Okay.
Looks like I mean I would consider still looting here. I don't know. You have the Mad Ogre's chest. You have these steel men here. The Crystal Sword has to show up somewhere. This is group flags. There is a Crystal Sword somewhere if you look hard enough.
The real question, though, is where. Demi saying in the chat, there is not always a crystal sword.
I guess maybe we'll have to agree to disagree. Indoor, though, I will say, if they had checked that treasury, that crystal ring, and if they also have that ribbon, would have been very helpful for that Golbez fight. The crystal ring will prevent you from being paralyzed. The ribbon will prevent you from being instant killed. So maybe at some point they make it back. I mean, more levels will make that free as well, and they already have the hook, so you can always go back, or they'll get the hook from this fight. But those would be some nice additions. I was really hoping that was a crystal sword just after Demerit's comment. It was just a Dragoon Spear, though, from the Steel Men.
Oh hey, who likes Eddie strats?
He just wants to play, and nobody wants to let Eddie on their team.
Eddie was the kid who always got picked last in dodgeball.
Seems like the one who would have excelled at music class.
Took Zoe no time to turn that Eddie down.
The one you would play hide and seek with, and you would just never actually look for.
He is indeed the hide-and-seek champion. IndoorWah taking down the Fabul computers. And now they've got their hook. So we'll see if they end up going straight there, or they're gonna find somewhere else to go.
This is definitely one of those deciding points because you do know there is a key item for them behind that gold vase. There's another potential key item up at the Earth Crystal. So, I don't think either of those choices is, technically right or wrong. It's just, it's one of those deciding times where you gotta say, am I gonna go back and take care of those, or am I looking for greener pastures? Do I want to get underground as quickly as possible?
Zoe fighting the Mad Ogre chest. Let's see if she ends up doing life strats on this or not.
Did find a rune axe as well, and is sneaking away some Bacchus vines. Very crafty from Zoe.
Also a very good strat right there.
Yep. And they were all the way up next to the Vanilla King Queen spot in what I like to consider the Moonanite's middle finger chest. But here comes the Crystal Sword Demerin. I'm telling you, it's somewhere. I will load up this seed when they're done, and I will take every trap just to prove my point.
She's pulling double duty on these Mad Ogres, doing the life glitch and stealing a bunch of Bacchus wines, so... And then IndoorWah is finding the blessed shop of sirens and coffins.
Yeah, it is convenient. You have this rune axe with your Sid, so you don't have to rely on damage, and this way, worst case, if you don't find Bacchus, you have some in your hip pocket. It's a very good play. There it is. That's a crystal sword. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. It was a crystal sword.
I mean, it's Edge's crystal sword.
Yeah, it's shiny. It's a sword. That is a nice pickup as well. This is looking like a very strong edge.
And
I saw some requests for Evil Wall at the King Queen spot. This does have the potential to be something that can frustrate the runners, just because with this Vanilla Cecil, your agility potentially can make this spot. And there it is. I'm right in mid-sentence. It's it's free.
good old Bahamut.
It's counting down. You don't want to know what happens when I get to 0.
Yeah, I hated growing up, and my parents would count down from 5, tell me to do something, and then when they got to 0, they just mega nuked me.
Yeah. It's a very apt description of what happens if you ignore the countdown.
But I mean, as long as I defeated them in combat, they did end up. Okay, this analogy is falling apart.
We had it for a minute.
I should have stopped one sentence earlier.
And Elements here is really not going to be the mean fights either. It will do some damage, but nothing that's going to slow this party down too much. You get bonus leg, which I appreciate.
Always good to have a bit of bonus leg.
I like to think Rubicant was a little frustrated at the Baron Inn, or at the guard spot. decided it needed a little more leg showing.
Yeah, I think Zoe would agree with me that more leg is always a good thing.
Ruby's got leg. Say what you will about being a fiend. That leg don't quit.
See if IndoorWah keeps this Eddie. Surprising nobody. They did not. And Elements is down. Saying goodbye to Chadward.
And now we play the game that is what terrifies me about these seeds, and that's you only need really one more key item for go mode, and you have a lot of places that you can check for it.
You're opening up so many more right now.
You have your free checks, you have your warp glitch, you have just a lot of things in play. Luca key, or not Luca key, but because Luca was on the overworld, that warp glitch could have the darkness crystal. I don't know. Every time I choose, it's wrong. So I'm not going to speculate. But that is objective number 3 complete for Zoe. As we see the light go on, big thanks to Alicel for doing our tracking tonight.
And on that note, also a thanks to Invent for restreaming and rolling this glorious seed.
Yeah, this has been something. That's another power shirt. The curiosity has maybe there is basically one key item. You could find the pass and the other piece of the sword for Forge and be able to get to the final boss. So there are 2 potential paths to go mode here, but I am hoping to see the giant.
Oh, there was another siren in that chest. And I'm curious to see who's waiting down at the King and Queen of Fame March spot.
Just a Stardust from the tail chest, and yeah, King and Queen of the Fade March should be interesting. Of course, every seed I've ever run, they have not offered me any value, but I still do them basically every single time I come down here.
I've definitely seen my share of value from them. Got it.
Well, potentially free.
What was that? No, that wasn't Antlion. That was Octomom.
Yep, Octomom. And if Zoe has another Hourglass, that is a very free Dark Imps fight. Does have coffins, so as long as you don't get punched too many times, it should still be relatively free.
Indeed. So it looks like she's healing up and gotta take that on.
Yep, and it looks like going with the coffins.
Ooh. And if she can get them off before she takes a fall.
Yeah, the Cecil. I was about to say the Cecil might be able to weather that punch, but guess not. speaking of punchy,
Ooh, yeah, that was... She's probably gonna give that one another shot, or maybe not.
as someone in chat had pointed out, and that might be what I would be aiming at, would be lowering that battle speed down to 3 or 4, or whatever you deem necessary, because you might be able to get those coffins queued up before that first round of hits, and that might be valuable, but then again, might just be seeking out greener pastures, which I don't disagree with either.
IndoorWah over on the Elements fight. And looks like they're not struggling much with this one.
This is definitely one of those fights that you think will have the potential to be more difficult, but they spend so much time changing forms that you hardly usually see any attacks from them.
Oh, Job Dwarf is a petroleum engineer. And Elements is down over on IndoorWah's side.
So we will have IndoorWah on the board as well. And this is certainly anyone's game. Again, there's one item that they need that would be go mode. There are a lot of checks, so who goes where and when is going to be still the determining factor here.
Yeah, and Zoe with the advantage at the moment because she was able to defeat Golbez. But a lot of things can change.
Yep, still a fair amount of race. I am hoping that we see the giant and we get something fun to watch at the giant. Some type of giant wyvern at Elements is not the most difficult fight, but it requires a lot of focus and a lot of inputting. Those are always entertaining to see. And I don't think either, maybe chat can correct me, but I don't think either one of them checked the top of Tower Boss. I was curious to see who was there.
No one's gone to Tower of Slot yet.
Oh, and that might be where we see Zoe headed to.
Yeah, she's definitely headed back to the surface. IndoorWah taking some time to, looks like, grind some eggs.
Sirens, you have the coffins. These bosses are going to be more difficult to deal with. This bonus XP and not having that Cecil could actually come in pretty well in this situation.
Oh, Zoe tried to get Sheila's first item, but didn't actually attempt anything with Yang, so the flag for that one did not get set.
Yeah, I was curious about what the plan was up here. There is still this check, but you don't want to take that ship there if you ever plan on coming back.
Yeah, sometimes in these seeds you get a little ahead of yourself and end up going somewhere when you think you did the prerequisite.
Yeah, and I've landed the lunar whale there. I've had to walk that forest. I've had to shame walk that forest multiple times in my career.
So it looks
because
like
it will spawn the regular Enterprise.
looks like Zoe's headed up Zot.
Yeah, I like this play, kind of circling back and maybe checking something that you're concerned your opponent might have done before you went underground.
Then there's a Lunar Sparkle in the first slot for the Dwarf Castle. I always want to call it the Dwarf Fortress, and I know that's not right. That's
I think it still plays. I was just about to say this is a very known Wyvern hangout.
That is... There's the Wyvern, but luckily Starvale.
Yep, and Edge got it up. The only real concern would be the second fight if, for example, you only have your White Mage up. But this should be totally fine.
Zoe found Odin.
The Thunderclaw.
Nope. Looks like IndoorWah found Yang, deciding whether or not to keep him and who to replace. And decides not to keep him. Oh, there's the Alt Gauntlet.
Oh boy. Well, Edge has MP. Edge can, I believe, take most of these down with flame casts.
Zoe found a Rosa, which is, I guess, French vanilla?
And vanilla as well.
Ow! Double Rosa all the way across the sky.
Sticking with at least the Cecil. This is commitment. Although I think I saw chat point out as well. You're pretty close to forging, so you might have an Excal anyway.
Yeah, I think Zoe replaced her Porum with Rosa, with one of the Rosas, but left the other one behind. And here's our Mylon Z, out for revenge.
Well, he's at least going to get to punch Rosa. Essentially the only one he probably could have killed.
You know, something I did notice her do earlier was her Cecil was down for a few fights, including the life glitch fight against the Mad Ogre's chest. And so I wonder if she was intentionally trying to keep him a few levels lower for since Cecil is the anchor point, as long as you have him.
Yeah, I did. I thought I'd seen a curse ring and maybe a dwarf axe somewhere. So there's plenty of ways to manipulate that agility as you wait for your eventual crystal sword to arrive. And it was asked in chat if Palom has warp on Wah's side. I know Wah did at least 2 eggs with coffins, so I believe that warp has been acquired on Palom, but I guess we will find out shortly.
Well, and Zoe's Tower of Zot was paid off with an Artie arrow. Looks like she's going to the Odin spot, though.
I like this check.
IndoorWah still on that Alt Gauntlet, which gotta be close to the end of it. Nope. Yep. They were right at the end. Oh, it's Karate on Zoe's side.
Well, and there we go. Cecil back in business. Doesn't matter how much damage.
Yep. Keeping the Cecil paid off for her. Pink Tail. Ooh. Pink Tail from the Dwarf Castle. Darkness Crystal on Zoe's side.
And the pass.
Oh. So IndoorWah's got the pass.
So this is one of those unique circumstances where they could both potentially find go mode by completing different objectives. I am a big fan of that Baron Throne play, just because that is something, if you do Baron early, it's like something that a lot of people will, move to the bottom of their list or almost, forget about entirely as far as checks go.
Zoe going back underground, presumably, yeah, it looks like she's gonna do her Siren egg grind. Which I would hazard to guess means she's probably gonna go straight for Giant after getting the whale.
That would be my plan here. 8 key items. The crystal would make 9. So not necessarily a big difference maker as to when you want to crack those eggs.
Oh, looks like she just
maybe. Oh yeah.
One and is going back to Feymarch, which Feymarch is also where IndoorWah is.
Well, that Octomom with that Thunderclaw edge would not be too difficult of a fight as long as the board AI complies for a few ATB ticks. There is that free Dark Imps fight as well. So this is something we see a lot of runners do. If you're going to be at 9 key items with the crystal, you could very easily be looking to hunt down one final key item, because that will drastically decrease the amount of time you need to spend grinding.
Yeah, and the number of sirens she would have to have, because she's only got 4 left, and she could go back and buy more, but that is a bit of a trek.
Yeah, you would prefer not to have to go back to the cave if you don't have to. And she's headed right back for the revenge against these Dark Imps. And they're still quite punchy.
She also forgot to heal.
Well, I think the anticipation there was for cover strats. Unfortunately, Cecil not only didn't get to cover, but got knocked out. The back row should help. I guess we will find out very quickly how much that's going to help.
Although chat pointing out she did not use the back row glitch.
Yeah, this
was trying to do cover strats.
Yep, this is one of those agility situations as well. If you do want those imps as slow as possible, you're going to need to drop Cecil's agility pretty drastically. And it was being asked in chat about the 4th objective for IndoorWah. There was a Golbez at Music in Indoor decided to hold off on actually completing that, as Golbez was not being very compliant with allowing them to keep their edge alive.
Zoe looks like Zoe's gonna get her freebie Sheila item, hoping that it's a key item and that'll put her up to the 10.
Yep, going back for another visit to good old Sheila.
Making a stop to get the whale on the way, which, you know, if...
Yep, and you can leave a save here, so if you don't get anything of value from that Sheila check, you can just reset back.
Yeah.
And this is intriguing from Indoor. I'm not sure if this is just an effort to steal sirens, but this will give us at least one more trap chest to see where that potential one of several crystal swords is hiding this seed.
Possibly doing keyless strats, trying to find something helpful.
And we get the not commonly seen cry command from Forum, which legend holds that it increases the likelihood of stealing. It can't speak to the validity of that claim, but it's something you might as well do because it's the only thing anyone's ever found that it might have a use for.
Just a crystal ring from Sheila.
And that is... it seems like Zoe at least wants to take that up to the giant with her, which I don't disagree. It is a valuable item, if not that bonus key item that you were looking for.
Yes, always gonna
This
go.
is another enemy where you could Thunderclaw this enemy for one hit. But I think Edge does the damage anyway.
So Zoe going to the moon, probably to at least check the free character. Possibly seeing if... And I guess maybe she'd be seeing if she can... Oh. Bacchus on the moon. That's good to know. So that's actually a bit of an advantage there.
That is convenient to have. She had stolen a couple, but I would imagine you might burn through one or two on these upcoming giant fights. And Indoor with the keyless tower play. So this is really what's so fun about these seeds as opposed to, the Football Gauntlet tournament where you had to do all 5. You can route entirely differently and end up at the Threemus fight at the exact same time.
Yeah. There's a second edge. Zoe seems conflicted on whether to keep him. I guess not. So hey, PK, would you say that this is a double-edged seed?
I would say maybe you've lost your edge. Maybe it's only a single-edged sword. Maybe I'm not getting sword puns real great right now.
At least you're taking a stab at it.
Oh, that cuts me very deep.
IndoorWah found the D-Lunars. I think this is still Keyless Tower. that they're in.
Yep, this is the top of the tower. And I was curious what Zoe was diving into the moon for, if that was looking for another key item, but it looks like the old mute bell.
Yeah, I guess she's using sirens on the moon. Or did she just turn on encounters?
I believe it's the sirens. But it could be random encounters. I'm not entirely sure. I was trying to check, and that was the top of tower was a Bahamut spell. So the no key tower not paying out as much as it has in some of the other seeds we've seen.
Yeah, you definitely have your share of seeds where keyless tower is actually really required, because the key item that's up at the top, you have to go get it and then go where that leads you, and then it gives you the tower key, which leads to a required item.
Yep, I'm very curious if we see this Dark Imps check. That one piece of the sword is potentially indoors saving grace, but it looks like Zoe might be really committed to either forging, really wants that X-Cal for the Zeromus fight, or just getting 10 key items as well, because that is a lot of bonus experience if you plan on doing the giant.
It's entirely possible she's looking for a 10th key item and hoping that it's the adamant.
Yeah, potential for double value here. There are maybe one or two free fights we haven't seen, and every time.
Oh, water hag. So that's paying off.
Yeah, this is some great XP. 2 more key item checks, and this is quite free.
And she's got her Cecil down, so again, probably keeping his speed lower for anchor purposes.
Yeah, the Cecil anchor, it's a very fickle thing when you have vanilla agility on and you're keeping a Cecil. Fortunately, not too big of a deal for the water hag fight.
Yeah. IndoorWah getting... Oh, that paid off real good for Zoe, because there was an adamant.
Yeah, that paid off all sorts of good.
So 10 key items, plus can do forging the sword instead of giant.
Yep, and that forge and that crystal will get you to 10 key items. And she is hopping out.
And the other, she is in go mode.
And that's an X-Cal for your Cecil too.
And the other chest in that boss room had an Avenger sword.
Yeah, that was quite the play. That very few things that could have gone better in that situation. A free fight leading to forge with an Avenger to top it off, and 10 key items.
Yeah, that was a gamble that paid off.
So now we know, I mean, those Dark Imps, the Fade March can't have had anything of required value. And
IndoorWah gonna try to fight Golbez once more. Which, now that they've got some more levels, hopefully they'll be able to take him on better. Zoe fighting King and Queen Evelyn to ditch Cecil for another Palom.
Yep, either going to slingshot this Palom or leave Palom down for your anchor. Either one, I would assume, is a relatively valid strategy at this point.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about Cecil playing games with your relative agility.
Yeah. Oh, and she's buying the cursed ring as well.
I was curious. I guess it must have been IndoorWah had found a curse ring somewhere earlier in the seed. But this makes it where, yeah, you could leave that Palom down just as valid. You could just put Sid in the middle with that curse string on, and he can play Chemist for your party. There's a lot of options available now. And once more with the music, Invan managed to get us a seed that netted us several plays of music.
I'm just more impressed that Inven managed to roll us a seed that has an entire Z3 seed in the middle. That's a joke about the music.
I did need that one explained to me. Here's the forge, and we can rate the shop as well. Kukul's shop oftentimes has the goods.
You know, how long until someone makes an actual combination FF4 Z3 randomizer?
That would be interesting. I've never played the Z3, but I've watched it, and they might go together.
I mean, they did Z3 in Super Metroid. Those games are, like, very not similar games.
That is a fair point. I play on a keyboard, so I don't think Super Metroid would be part of my...
Zoe's spending all our money on apples.
Yeah, hungry for apples?
I guess they were just conveniently there where she was getting her last objective, so... Oh, she's gonna sell that Excal for more apples.
That is a fair number of apples. For anyone unfamiliar, they are a hit point boosting J item, so that is going to offer some bonus safety to Zoe, who now has her crystal
It's
and
definitely a strat I haven't seen before.
Well, you got all this money at the end of the siege. You got to spend it on something.
Yeah.
I don't think you need moon veils, going into the Zeromus fight, but I just don't like having any money left.
And I guess she's going down to buy more sirens. But on the other side, IndoorWah got through Golbez this time, getting the Legend Sword and an objective complete.
Yeah, GG. That Golbez is not fun, particularly with that mage heavy party. And there we go. That is one piece of the sword. We know where the other one is. So Indoor is without knowing it, needs to go through that Baron Basement Throne in order to find progression, because we know now that the Fey March can't have anything that would offer any value to completing any of these objectives. And yeah, purchasing up some sirens, I think we are going to probably see some eggs get scrambled here for a quick hot minute.
Do you think she has an exit strategy?
Oh, I don't think she can escape from cracking those. Although with that slingshot potential, maybe wanting to do gold dragons, which I also... Or maybe the mage fights, because I'm not sure that I've seen hourglasses. It's hard for me to keep track of all this. My brain is a little fried.
Well, I'll just go over easy on the puns then.
I do love your sunny disposition.
No, it's not any disposition. I drank that in elementary school.
This Odin's not going to be too long. And we are approaching a specific time, but I am curious how many warlocks this is going to require. This is going to be... You're going to have a good amount of damage to output once this party is online. This Zeromus might be in for some trouble tonight.
IndoorWah about to find the double Rosa all the way across the Tower of Zot.
Yeah, vanilla and French vanilla Rosa. Take your pick. And just as a reminder, while we have this grind going on, I believe we have some more races tonight. I'm checking on the schedule, but I believe there will be some more broadcasts. There are definitely some more going on. So if we have not sated your desire for more free enterprise, Aizen Tayama and Mumuni are going to be on Randomania, kicking off in about 25 minutes or so, and then there are 3 or 4 more races also being run off stream. Gambit 17, Flurry, Gambit and Ben, Flurry and Judge and Phineas, Trevelyan and Silverfire are all going somewhere between 9 and 10 p.m. Eastern as well. So if you'd like, we are posting links in the Discord channel to be able to watch both runners, and we'll have another crew going on probably by the time we're wrapping up here.
And not only that, but this is going to be a big, long tournament, so there's going to be a lot of matches pretty much every day all over. Like between the Free Enterprise channel, which you're watching, there's some on Randomania, there's some on RPG Limit Break. There's going to be a lot of Free Enterprise happening.
Yes, there will be no shortage of free enterprise for the next. Once the group phases are over, we will have the Hook and the Magma groups, and then we'll move on to the table. And there will be plenty of free enterprise, and I know that I'm thrilled for all of it that's going to be coming up.
I, for one, welcome our new free enterprise overlords. Looks like we've got IndoorWah about to take on the Odin spot.
Oh, well done. As I've mentioned, this is a spot. This is like checking demist. If I do demist in the middle of a chain of encounters, this is a spot that I often forget to make the check on. And with it being this Karate Man here, the primary time that actually Zoe managed to get some value out of that Cecil.
Yeah, unfortunately, IndoorWah does not have the Cecil, and we'll have to fight this the normal way. Quote unquote. Actually, I guess technically, wouldn't having it with Cecil be the normal way? Because isn't that the original game?
Yeah, technically speaking, that is the vanilla way to win the fight. But not always the one you get in the free enterprise. Zoe's HP totals are looking like she's getting pretty close to being ready. These warlocks.
Yeah, I'm not even sure she used all those apples yet.
Yeah, there's apples to go around. Everybody's potentially have an apple or two right now.
I could go for some, like, apple pie or something.
It's making me hungry.
So, it looks like instead of using that second Palom as an anchor, she's going to use Sid as one, because Sid has been down for all of these siren fights that she's been doing.
Yup, Sid in his natural place in the order, which is the center and lying on the ground. With that curse string, I mean, you could let Sid get a few more levels, but with the amount of XP you're getting off these fights, it also makes sense just to put caution first. Endure with the darkness.
I'm assuming Sid's probably got the curse string as well. So, IndoorWah. It'll be interesting to see, are they just going to go straight for the giant? Now that they have the darkness crystal?
It is a good question. It's not what we saw Zoe do, but from a commentator standpoint, I'm very curious as to who is potentially waiting up there for this party. We'll probably have an answer to that relatively soon. And I believe Zoe has completed her grind and is getting ready to head down to the final boss. I think I see some flags in the chat, and as she menus, Dijon, do you have any idea what these flags are for?
I feel like there's some sort of question at play. I think... Hang on. I think I know this. I think I know this. Don't tell me. What time is Wheel of Fortune on?
So close. It's Jeopardy, but
Okay.
we'll still accept that. I believe question that needs to be asked here is, whose butt are we going to be kicking tonight?
That was my second guess.
Yeah, it was. I mean, they're both acceptable answers. I see Scala Kitty has made it into chat. She is responsible for this plethora of Z sprites that we have randomized into this game. And I am always excited to see who we end up with at the end of each one of these races.
It's always fun. Also, we can see IndoorWah is on the moon, so not sure where they're going. Maybe they also don't want to do the giant.
Yeah, if they both make this same play, that it would be quite the boon for IndoorWah because they have the pass as well. So you wouldn't have to make this walk a second time as we saw Zoe do.
Yeah. Oh, looks like they're grinding on the moon with sirens. Oh!
Base Omus.
All your free enterprise are belong to us. You have no chance to survive, make your time. Hopefully Zoe has a chance to survive, though.
Oh, with 2 new casters and a white caster, I think Base Omus should be concerned about their base right about now.
White Caster is a pretty good restaurant.
They're the first Big Bang, but everyone of importance still managed to survive. Because I have no response to that pun, so I'm just gonna keep moving forward.
That's what everybody does.
So Sid returned to Sid's natural habitat of the floor.
It's comfy down there.
The view has to be bizarre, but I don't know. Can't knock it. Well, the Cure 4s are coming out. Unfortunately, that Edge with that Star Veil didn't manage to benefit from the first one, and that Cure 3 left him just below the threshold to survive that Big Bang.
Yeah, the big problem with Reflect strats is that you can't use your healing spells because it'll just reflect them onto Zeromus.
Yep, but doing a good job to get back into this. By no means, and it looked like she had accidentally cast Weak with her second Pelham anyway, so
Yeah,
didn't miss the nuke shot.
I had noticed the weak and wasn't sure what she was doing. I guess that was a miss menu.
Yeah, it looks like she moved Nuke down to the front slot on one Palom, but not the other. And I think she swapped the location of Nuke and Weak. And so I think it was just one of those muscle memory mistakes that will often. I've brought Warp down to that front spot and then cast Warp during this fight, and I can tell you it doesn't do anything, but it takes a while.
Now, one of the good things about Zoe using the Reflect strats is she's going to skip that health refill.
Yeah, there's no phase change. You also don't have to worry about falling rocks. And speaking of falling, that is the end of Basimus for ZoeVermilion.
GG to Zoe.
Yes, congratulations. That is a 1-0 record, which is very coveted in this tournament.
Yeah, she finished with the time of 1:44:45.
And let's see, I think she might be standing by for an interview. These are with the 15-minute delays. They always end up having to watch the end of their own race. As I believe we are joined by Zoe. GG. Oh, there we go. GG, Zoe.
Hi! Thanks for the GGs.
Hi.
So, take us through your thought process when you get the darkness crystal.
I'm glad I kept Cecil around.
Did come in handy for that karate fight. What about, because you had the opportunity to go to the giant, and instead you went down to that ribbon room.
Yeah, so at that point I had 8 key items. I wanted to try and get to 10, and I figured the ribbon room is both 100k XP and 2 possible KI checks. So was hoping to get it there. Happened to get it there thanks to the adamant and then the subsequent crystal. So that felt pretty good.
Yeah, not to mention it only being the water hag. So that was quite the check.
Yeah, never have I ever been as happy to see Water Hag as I was at that moment.
And I like that. Were you always planning on getting rid of your Cecil at some point for that second Black Mage?
Unless I found a Crystal Sword in second Cecil. I was absolutely, when I first saw it there on Hobbs, like, part of me wanted to take it because, 2 quack kids can make the seed a bit easier, but I had an edge, had the quack kid, and so it was like, yeah, no, this is perfectly fine. I'll come back, grab it, and go over Reflect strats if I don't find that Crystal Sword. So speaking of Reflect strats, you know what's really, really helpful for Reflect strats? Having Star Veils.
Ah, did you run out? You bought a
used
lot
them
of apples and no moon veils.
I used them all on the Golbez, and never restocked. And in all my practice seeds, I've rarely run out throughout the course of the seeds, so I've never really bothered to buy more. I opened my menu for the first time to throw it on Edge and go, okay, we're hard casting Wall. This'll be fine.
Yeah, I noticed you were using Rosa to cast Wall instead of using Star Veil.
I was curious about that. Did you also not nerf the first Big Bang just because you assumed you'd be able to live through it, or was that just you're just going straight for damage?
Yeah, so I didn't have a Silk Web, which is what I would normally use to nuke that Big Bang, or nerf that Big Bang, and really just didn't feel comfortable hard casting it and eating a nuke to someone that I needed to keep alive, and I figured with my HP totals as high as they were, it's fine.
Yeah, you certainly went all out on apples. I did like that play. Was definitely the potential saving grace off that, or a way to rest easy during that first big bang.
Yeah, certainly not a strat I've ever seen before.
Yeah, this seed was pretty much my cookie cutter plan and the routing I do, with a few small mistakes. It helps to talk to Sheila, or to go to Sylph before you talk to Sheila. And the Star Veil, not having Star Veils for Reflect strats, those are probably the two that I'm going to sit there and go, okay, at least I'm never doing either of those again.
Yeah, I didn't notice the Starfield thing actually, but it makes sense. You don't get too many, but because you don't have to, complete every boss, typically do end up not short on them when you go into the Z fight. But that routing was great. That Baron Throne check, or the Baron Basement check, I was a big fan of. I mentioned it a few times, but it's something that it typically forgets. That doesn't cross my mind if I end up doing Baron, before taking a hook route and going underground.
Yeah, kind of my philosophy is, if it's a hook route, I try and clear as much of the overworld as possible. I faded Earth Crystal, which is kind of against that strategy, but with hook being a required objective, do what's required is something I try and stick by. And then it was haunting me, and so when I failed to get Sheila one, I was like, okay, then let's just go ahead and grab Zot while I'm here.
Yeah, not a bad play, and if it kept you on the overworld and got you right next to Baron, which was where you needed to be, it definitely gave you a good excuse to come back. And yeah, I mean, GG, do you have any other thoughts on the seed?
The seed itself was pretty fine. The Sid start is good. Overall, when in practice, I try and finish under 145 for my practice seeds. That's where I feel like my metric is, and I just pulled that off. So I'm pretty happy with this.
Yeah, you did good.
I do want to say thank you to TK and Dijon for doing comms, Inven behind the scenes, and Ali clicking those buttons, and also GG's to IndoorWah. It was a fun race.
Congrats again to Zoe, and it looks like during the interview, IndoorWah made the same play going to the ribbon room. So they have their Adamant and Legend sword and are also going to, much to my chagrin, avoid doing the Giant of Babel. And one bonus is definitely that they did find the pass, which means not having to walk all the way down there to Threemus again.
Yeah. Which was one thing Zoe never found.
And it looks like getting their equipment set up. I'm curious to see if somebody takes that curse string, what the party order is going to look like, if we're going to have another Sleepy Sid.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Stack of 10 Moonveils will probably get you through this Roma's fight.
But yeah, their party seems to be about the same as Zoe's was, except with Porum in place of Rosa.
Oh. coming back. Oh, going to maybe crack a few more eggs. I wasn't sure about where the levels were at.
Yeah. And I mean, also at the point that if they went back up to the moon to...
Dancing. And while we do have this minute, once again, a big shout out to Alicel for doing all of our button pushing and Invenerable running our restream, and to Zoe and IndoorWah for running the race for us to watch, and to you as well, Dijon, for commentating with me.
Yeah, thanks to you for being here and commentating as well.
Yeah, Inven scouting the competition. Inven won the last tournament and has accepted his free pass to skip the group stages and head right to the table, not having to get overly concerned with practicing these flags. We have a whole new set for the table. It looks like the levels are close. It's 3 more sirens. Should probably be enough to get all of your spellcasting kids to where you want them.
Yeah. Well, and they're definitely not going for the same Sid anchor strat that Zoe did.
Well, that looks like Nuke and White. All that they were looking for in order to be ready to head on over. So we will once again into the fray, and this is why you don't park that ship when you do the Earth Crystal. This is why you want to swap back.
Yeah.
I've left the lunar whale there before. It's embarrassing. Pass will allow us a quick trip into Zeromus. Nuke and the White. My guess is going to be that Zeromus' base is going to be belonging to IndoorWah very, very shortly here. And for anyone still watching, I would assume it's going to be our raid target, but we do have another race going on that should be kicking off probably right around the time, about 9:15 Eastern would be the beginning of that race. It is over on Randomania. That is between Trevelyan in Silverfire, and Leggy Starstream is on that restream. Your commentators are Mecha Link and Commander Leonhardt, and Poor Scythe is the tracker over there. So free enterprise all day, every day, continues momentarily. Oh, and Sid did end up in the middle. I must have missed that.
Interesting. Maybe Sid's still just slower at that level.
From what I know, Curse String Sid is only going to have
Oh yeah, he's got curse string.
single
Yeah.
digit.
You're right. I forgot about the curse string.
You're not giving too much up, one way or the other. Sid is not fast. And the direct nuke cast for the nerf, I love that play.
Yeah, they're definitely going for a much different strategy than Zoe did.
Yeah, I noticed there is a Zerk up on Edge. So we will be seeing a bit of both. Some physical damage, some magic damage. Hybrid strat, I guess is it's referred to.
And it'll be interesting to see if they end up hitting him like right in that part where he can get the reflect strats off before the refill happens and actually take him out.
Yeah, it's something, you know, without maybe a third nuke caster, or if you had grinded to slightly higher levels, you might consider doing just the pure reflect. But this also clogs the queue. It allows you to get more inputs in, and it makes Edge feel like he's doing something. And I mean, he's hitting for a little bit. He's doing okay.
Yeah. But timing it for the hybrid strats to skip the refill is a bit harder when you do have a character like Edge berserking. Because obviously you can't control when he attacks, and you know, if you're counting the HP, like I guess if you had like a unicorn horn or
Yeah, a Unihorn would allow you to cancel the Zerker. You could, you know, use a coffin on the Zerker. The strats made popular by Penguinator involve zerking until you get close to that refill skip, but my guess would be refill skip be damned. I'm just gonna keep throwing damage at you until you fade into the ground. Which is my typical strategy.
yeah, I usually base my strategy entirely off of what characters are available. But then again, I'm pretty sure everyone does, because that's literally how you play the game.
There's definitely an aspect of playing the game.
My strategy is usually to base everything around where all the characters and items are.
Yeah, I try to collect the items I need in as short a time as possible.
A bold strategy.
It is indeed, and that is the
That's
Flash.
GG to IndoorWah with the final time of 2:02:43.
And I believe we are joined by IndoorWah. GG.
Hey, give me 1 second. Alright. Hey there, can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Oh boy, that was a rough one. That was a rough one for me, personally.
Well, that Golbez doesn't play around in that spot.
No.
Yeah.
You sort of have to do the damage to make it happen, I guess. Because the magic def is so high in it.
Yeah, I can't really do the reflect strats on that spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was always going to be trouble, and if Golbez decided, or if the dragon decides to eat your damage dealer, you just gotta hope that the board face AI doesn't mess with you too much. But I think we've all been in that position, in that spot. It's frustrating for sure.
Yeah, I regret not switching my ribbon to edge. I did have a ribbon.
But you also went to the moon and did a grind, and then you decided to check out that ribbon room. What was your thought process there?
Well, I'm not very experienced with this, but so my question is, both of those chests could potentially contain a key item, or just one of them?
Both of them could have had a key item in it.
Okay, that was my reasoning. More potential chances to get a key item. And if I'm going to dive the moon, I learned that like full clearing the moon isn't really what I want to do if I want to actually finish in a timely manner. So I usually hit Bahamut, I usually hit Ribbon, and if I can't find something that progresses me, then I have to full clear the moon.
Yeah, that ribbon room was stacked.
Yeah, that was yeah. If I had not discarded my Sid, I would have had an Avenger to use too. But I never found a Crystal Sword.
It was out there somewhere. Neither of you found it, but I know it's out there.
Mystery.
Just hearing the X-Files theme in my head.
Well, it was fun. Like I said, I think I started playing Free Enterprise during the World Series of Free Enterprise, and I played exclusively Appleseeds, so it's been a couple of years since I actually hopped back into anything. But this was fun. This will be fun. I learned a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot more tournament to go. And yeah, I mean, barring one or two choices, you actually, having gotten that pass was, potentially a big time saver. But you were right in there.
Yeah, that pass was handy. Especially since in all my practice seeds, Dwarf Castle is giving me squat, so...
Yeah, that's how I feel. I keep doing it. And never get anything.
It's the allure of the 2-item tango.
And the character.
Mm-hmm, yep.
Well, any final thoughts on the seed?
Thanks to Invenerable for restreaming, and thanks, let's see, Olisel for tracking, and Dijon Ketchup and PK4787 for commentating, and thanks to Zoe for a great show.
Yeah, and thank you for letting us sit back and watch someone else play.
No worries.
Well, I think with this, we're going to wrap up. We do have another race going on over at Randomania, so that is going to be our raid target. A big thank you again to Zoe and Indoor, and to you, Dijon and Inven and Allie. It's been a great time.
And thanks to you, PK. This has been a great... This was a great race.
This was a real fun one, and I'm sure we'll have another great one going on over at Randomania.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, everyone, have a good night.